Hey, good morning everybody. So we just had a crazy rainstorm last night. Not really where I am, but standing in ants. Up further north of us last night was a lot of rain, and this morning is such a beautiful morning here in southeast Texas that I just had to come out here and do a quick video of my work garden. Now, like a lot of people, YouTube is obviously, I'm brand new to it, so I'm not making any money. This is just all for fun. And I work a full-time job. Well, what I do for a living, I'm able to actually have a garden at work to help show that our products work. That's all I'm gonna say. But I've got a really good garden going this year. Super excited about it. So I've got a good garden at the house, and then I have one here. So I'm surrounded by gardening. I love it. We've got plants growing over here. Got some really nice roses that I was able to plant. The freeze killed pretty much my entire rose bed that I originally had. Killed every one of them. It really bummed me out. I had a beautiful yellow rose that was probably 4 foot tall, producing beautiful flowers, and it's gone. But where there's death, there's life, right? And that's what gardening is, and it's just part of it. So I'm gonna do a tour of the garden here at work. It's gonna be really short, not like the one at home that's 42 minutes long. And if you're wondering why I've got everything taped up, because, well, I'm at work. Here, and I don't know the legalities of everything, whether I can show where I work or not, and so I covered it up. So yeah, so let's go do that. Okay, so for this flower bed right here, it's not a really long flower bed. So I've got these watermelons here that have already doubled in size, and they've only been in the ground for about 8 days. I'm really excited. I really hope they take off, because we've got a good amount of bees around the yard this year here, and I really think this is going to work. So we've got this vine here, a lot of flowers on it, bringing in a lot of bees. But you can see here all this death. This is from the freeze. I just haven't taken them off yet, and I thought this thing was completely dead, but you can see it's really come back to life. And if you pan over here, there's a hole right there that in one of the next videos that I'm going to do, I'll explain that hole right there used to have a fig tree in it. More to come on that. So let's pan over and go over to the actual flower bed, or vegetable garden. So over here at this garden, this used to be the entire rose bed that I had. This whole thing was full of roses, and like I said earlier, the freeze killed them all. So I decided to turn this into a vegetable garden this year, and it's a 5x13 bed, and I'm doing the exact same thing that I'm doing at the house. I'm intercropping everything. So we've got herbs, or I'm companion planting, I'm sorry, not intercropping, companion planting. So we've got a mixture of all kinds of things going on here. So we'll start right over here in that bed, or in this little deal here. I've got thyme growing, and I'm gonna let that go to flowering and just bring in the bees. I've got tomatoes right there. That's a squash, a zucchini, and another type of squash that I'm gonna have to get a trellis built right here for them, probably next week actually. More tomatoes right in here, and then these are some Roma tomatoes that I took to the house. All of these tomatoes in this section were from seed. Also, we've got onions popping up. You can see the little onions coming in. Come over. Got garlic right there with some basil. Now I got the purple basil just to add some color, but this guy right here, I guess I got a bad one. He's not doing good. But again, you use basil to help mask the scent of tomatoes. So I'm gonna have to get more basil. Coming on over, this whole area right here are carrots. Hopefully this will really start to turn into a carrot patch soon. Now that they're starting to put on their heads, they'll grow really quick. Now right over here is a chocolate tomato plant. chocolate cherry tomato. And I'm gonna try to get in there and show, yeah, right there. We got the first one and the second one, which is right beside coming in. Really excited about that. These plants are just going crazy in this good soil. Over here, we've got a California Wonder, just like at the house. It's got that really big, huge pepper on it. Same here. We've got a yellow pepper plant that's putting on peppers, going really good. Again, intermixed with a lot of onion. In this one right here, we've got dill, again to help mask the scent of the tomatoes to keep the pests away. We'll see if it works. Got some good sage here, just normal sage. The smell on that plant is amazing. Coming around the corner, now this is where I messed up. This is a yellow pear tomato, and this is an indeterminate. So I've got to get this thing trellised pretty soon, because it's just going to keep growing and growing. And as you can see, it has tomatoes coming already, which is so cool. Come on over, we got a habanero plant, just like the one at the house, just much smaller. And then a good normal sweet basil plant right there that is enormous. More tomato plants right here that are just insanely huge. Didn't take long for them to start growing. I mean, they just blew up. Another habanero plant right here. Super beefsteak tomato plant. Now this one doesn't have any tomatoes on it yet, but it's got a lot of flowers. And same with this. Oh, first one. First tomato on this plant. Let's get in there, right there. Yeah. And this is because I can't remember, an heirloom Johnson, or an heirloom tomato. What does that say? German Johnson? I don't know. We'll see what it does. But yeah. So that's this vegetable garden here. Again, you don't need a lot of space to grow anything, really. You just gotta want to go out and do it, put in the time and effort, and have fun with it. So that's the vegetable garden here at work, and I'm going to show you a couple other things, and then we'll be done with this video. All right, so this is the new rose bed. It's a 4x4 little tiny bed. It's nothing like the other one, but I've only got 4 roses in this one, and I'm hoping that because there's only 4, that they'll really do good in this little tiny bed here. Now what I did was I went ahead and got some unique roses, in my opinion. This is just one of the prettiest colored roses. It's a burgundy. I've never even heard of that. So when I saw it, I had to get it. And it is it's that right there. But just look at how pretty those flowers are. And they're everywhere. This thing is just taking off. Then I've got 2 of the same one here, right here, and right over there. These are both Tequila Gold. The name pretty much sold me on it. So, yeah, and look at that flower. Just a beautiful, beautiful yellow. And then the last rose that we have here is just, I love the name, Candy Cane Cocktail. I mean, come on. How do you pass that up? And then look at it. That's really not a great picture. Let's see. A multicolored, just a beautiful flower. And it's growing. You can see all this new life right here growing. And of course, it is covered in thorns, so don't touch. So yeah, that's the new flower, the new rose bed here. I'll do updates on this bed also, because I just love these flowers. They are so pretty. And I'm sorry about the noise in the background. I'll try to edit that out if I can, but we're right next to a freeway, so yeah, kind of sucks, but it is what it is. All right, one more thing to show you. Okay, so the last plant I want to show y'all is this hydrangea. Now this doesn't look like much. I know there's no flowers on it yet, but the green on this is just a wonder because the freeze I thought absolutely killed this plant. As you can see, I haven't trimmed any of these dead branches off, but I've had this plant for about 5 years now. It came from my house and then I moved it here, and I don't know what it is about this section of this porch. Maybe it's the way the sun only hits it at certain peak times of the day, morning and evening. I don't know, but this is the most perfect place to have put this plant, and I can't wait till it starts producing flowers so I can show y'all. But this plant has been with me a while. I tend to latch on to things like plants that show character and strength, I guess, and this is one of them. So had to show y'all this one, had to share it. Can't really tell, I guess, height wise, but we're talking probably 3 foot, 2.5, 3 foot tall by maybe the same in width. It's a big plant, and it's one of my favorite plants. There's sentimental value, meaning behind this plant, but moral of the story, never give up. Just keep letting things grow until you know for a fact that they're dead. But yeah, so that's my hydrangea. And then I'm not going to show the actual flower bed that's to the right of this plant because it's under construction, and I'm waiting for the nurseries to get flowers in that I actually want to plant. So I'll do another update once that's done. Okay, so that's the tour. It's short and sweet. I don't have a lot growing here right now, but what is growing I'm super proud of, because I've tried to grow a vegetable garden here I think 2 or 3 years in a row, and then I stopped for a year, and now I'm back to it's actually growing. So I'm excited about it. The moral of the story to gardening is just keep trying, and that's what I'm learning by doing all this, and I'm glad that I get to share this with everybody. So I know this wasn't an educational video in any way, shape, or form, but if you like the video, subscribe to the channel, please. Share the video. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram, same name, Down Home Backyard Gardening. So until next time, I'm out.